What's going on, everybody? Georgia Bulldog Will here, and I'm recapping Game 3 of the Celtics Hawks series in the first round of the playoffs. As you can see by the banner, the Hawks won this game. Yes, the Hawks beat the Celtics 130 to 122 at State Farm Arena tonight. I'm going to be recapping this game and previewing Game 4, which will be on Sunday. Game 4 is going to be in a good game. Be at that game. So it'll be a good game. But yeah. So the Hawks beat the Celtics 130 to 122. It's not easy playing the Celtics ever. It's never easy playing the Celtics. Um they're just a really good basketball team, but man, this team played with a lot of this team just kept on pushing, man. They kept on pushing. Boston tried to fight back, but the Hawks were just like, nope, we're not having it this time. So yeah. So yeah, the Hawks win this game 130 to 122. It is now a 2-1 Boston lead in the series. Yeah, 2-1 lead for the Celtics in the series. So, let's go through all the stats. Well, first, let's just go through the game leaders. Leader in points for the Celtics was Jason Tatum with 29 points, 9 for 22 on field goals, 7 for 9 on free throws. For the Hawks, it was Trae Young with 32 points, 12 for 22 on field goals, and 6 for 6 on free throws. Now, that's what I like to see, 6 for 6 on free throws. In rebounds, for the Celtics, it was Jason Tatum. He had 10 rebounds in total, 8 on defense, 2 on offense. For the Hawks, it was Clint Capella with 11 rebounds, 7 on defense, and 4 on offense. In assists, Marcus Smart led the Celtics in assists with 8. And Trae Young had 9. But let's just go through all the statistics here. So let's look at the team stats. So field goal percentage, the Hawks were better by about almost 7%. Um, a little over 7% actually. A little over 7%. 3-point percentage. Now this surprises me. The Celtics are a good 3-point. The Celtics are good at shooting the 3-pointer, but the Hawks had a better 3-point percentage. Turnovers, the Hawks had more. They had 7 more, and the Hawks did do better on the board. So that's what I like to see. More rebounds on the Celtics. That's good. Very good. On to the team stats. The Hawks were 51 and 91 on field goals. Celtics were 45 and 92. Field goal percentage, as I said, 56. Hawks were 15 of 34 on 3-point attempts, while the Celtics were 21 of 48. Free throws, the Hawks were 13 of 16, while the Celtics were 11 of 16. Rebounds, the Hawks had more. Celtics had more assists, 7 more. Celtics had more steals. They had 11. Hawks had 5. Celtics had no blocks. That's a surprise. Wow. So the Hawks were able to get more shots off without the Celtics blocking them. So that's very good. That's very good. Yeah, turnovers. The Hawks had 7 more. But the Hawks did score 14 more points off of Boston turnovers than how many points Boston scored off of Atlanta turnovers. So that's good. Fast break points, the Celtics had 10 and the Hawks had 14. Jalen Johnson is your guy for fast break points. I've said this a million times, but I'm just going to keep on saying it. He's your guy for fast break points. Fouls, the Celtics had 17 and the Hawks had 15. There were no technical fouls and there were no flagrant fouls. Largest lead for the Celtics was up to 9, and the Hawks was up to 14. That's really good. So the Celtics were leading by 4 at the end of the first. Then the Hawks were up, let's see, let's do the math here, 74 to 67. Hawks were up by 7 at the half. 74 67, 74. Hawks had 100. Hawks had 100 points at the end of the third. And at the end of the third. And the Celtics had um 88. So the Hawks were up by 12. And then the Hawks won the fourth quarter by 1 point and then won the game by 8 points. So honestly, I mean, I'm glad we won this game. I was expecting that we would win this game because what typically happens is the team that's down 2-0, they're the home team for game 3 and 4. Yeah, for games 3 and 4, and they usually win game 3. That's usually what happens. I mean, the Nets were home for their game 3 and they lost. The Timberwolves are home for their game 3 and right now, as you can see, they're losing by 12. So that's not always the case, but it's usually the case. I mean, last year the Hawks were home for their game 3 against the Heat and they won that game by 1 point. Trae Young with that floater that gave the Hawks the lead with not much time left. Hawks won that game. But yeah, this was a great game for the Hawks. GG to all the Celtics fans out there. But I'm excited for Game 4. I'll be at the game. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Game 3 on Sunday on TNT. That's going to be an awesome, awesome game. I am excited for that game. So with this win, there will be a Game 5, and it will be in Boston on April 25th. If the Hawks win on Sunday, though, then there will be a Game 4. There will be a Game 6 because then the series will be tied, and either team will have to win 2 more games to advance. Now, if, say, the Hawks win Game 4, 5, 4. If they win 4, we're tied. 5, we're in the lead. Say we lose game 6 and then game 7. I mean, game 7, that would be awesome because if you go back to 2008, the Celtics and Hawks battled out in that playoff series. All 3 games, the Hawks didn't lose a game in Atlanta in that series. They won all 3 games that were in Atlanta. I mean, the Hawks just put on Joe Johnson put on a show in the fourth quarter in one of those games. I think it was game 4. Joe Johnson put on an absolute show and freaking took over the game. And then the Hawks ended up winning. But yeah. The Hawks have their first win against the Celtics this year. Finally. Jeez, took long enough. But we finally got that win. But anyway, how many minutes have I gone for? Oh, I've only gone for 9 minutes? Okay, so this hasn't been long. All right. Let's take a look here. Hold on, let me just create a few banner. One second. Okay, so let's take a look at game 4 right here. Here it is. Okay, so let's just go through all this. They're favoring the Celtics in this game. I mean, I can understand that. So let's take a look at the season leaders coming into game 4. You got Jason Tatum, obviously, 30.1 points per game, 46.6 field goal percentage, and an 85.4 free throw percentage. Trae Young has 26.2 points per game, 43% field goal percentage, and an 88.6 free throw percentage. Rebounds is Jason Tatum with 8.8 rebounds per game, 7.7 defensive rebounds per game, and 1.1 offensive rebounds per game. For the Hawks, it's Clint Capella, 11 rebounds per game, 7.1 defensive rebounds per game, and 4 offensive rebounds per game. Assists, Marcus Smart for the Celtics with 6.3 assists per game. And Trae Young with 10.2 assists per game. As you could see on the injury report for the Celtics, Danilo Gallinari, a former Hawk, is doubtful for Game 4. He didn't play tonight. Yeah, and the Hawks have no injured players, so that's a good sign. We need a full on healthy squad. I mean, depends on our rotation. Let me just go back to the previous game. Let me go back to today's game. Let's see. We ran a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-man rotation. Yeah, that's usually what a team would do. And the Celtics did exactly the same, 9-man rotation. Bruno didn't play, AJ Griffin didn't play, Garrison Matthews, Aaron Holiday, Tyrese Martin, Veet Krejci didn't play. Blake Griffin didn't play. Champagne, whatever your name is. Mike Muscala, former Hawk, he didn't play. Luke Cornett didn't play, and Peyton Pritchard didn't play. So yeah, that's how it went. So yeah, 9-man rotation, 10-man rotation. I don't expect something like that. But let's go back to game. Let's go look at game 4 again. Yeah, so they're favoring the Celtics. I can understand it, but man, you never know. You never know what Hawks team you're gonna get. I mean, it could be like how we were tonight. Could be like that. We just never gave up on our. We just never gave up. We just kept on going. We never gave up. So you don't know what Hawks team you're gonna get. You could get a really good Hawks team, but you could get that Hawks team that really just makes you wanna. That Hawks team that makes you want to throw something. And I've seen that Hawks team many times, and I hope that Hawks team does not show up on Sunday when I'm going to be in attendance for that game. So, it's going to be a good game. State Farm Arena. I've not been to an NBA playoff game before. This will be my first time going to an NBA playoff game. My second time going to my second ever professional sports playoff game. My first one was a 2021 Braves postseason game against the Dodgers. The Braves won 3-2, and this will be my second one. And this is a good one. It's against one of our rivals, the Celtics. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. So yeah, the Hawks are down 2-1 entering game 4. Honestly, I don't think there's much to say other than thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share this out to other people. Click the bell for notifications whenever I make a video. And I will have a recap tomorrow night for the Rangers game because the Rangers are playing the Devils tomorrow night at the Garden, Game 3. Can the Rangers take a 3-0 series lead and be one win away from sweeping the Devils and advancing to the second round? I mean, imagine a sweep of your division rival, but I can't speak for that. I can't speak about that right now because we have to win Game 3 before we can start talking about sweeping the Devils. But that'll do it for this episode. Again, the Hawks beat the Celtics 130-122 in Atlanta tonight. Hawks saved the series, and Game 4 will be on Sunday. It'll be a great game. Hopefully the Hawks win. This way we'll have a Game 6, and it'll be good. It'll be good to say, hey, we won 2 games against the Celtics, but hey, you never know, man. You never know what can happen in the series. The Hawks could win. The Hawks could win 3 straight. You never know, man. I'm not saying it's likely, but again, NBA playoffs, anything can happen. The Hawks got hot at the right moment in 2021, and they made that run to the Eastern Conference Finals, but then it just ended there. If Trae Young didn't get injured, then we would have made it to the finals, and we would have won. We would have won the finals that year. We would have had enough. We would have had our first championship in Atlanta and our second championship in team history. But what can you do, man? But yeah, Quinn Snyder gets his first playoff win as head coach of the Hawks. Good job, Quinn. And honestly, Trae Young was killing it tonight. DeJounte Murray, that duo, what they combined for like 60-something points like that. It was some amazing, some really good stuff. It was like, hold on. I think I remember this. How many points did they combine for? They combined for a lot of points. 56. So Trae Young had 32 and DeJounte Murray had 24. 56 combined points. And they combined to score or assist on 67% of Hawks' points, 87 of 130 to win over the Celtics. So that's awesome. So great stuff by Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. But that's going to do it for the recap of Game 3. The Hawks beat the Celtics 130 to 122. And I will see you guys later, and go Hawks.